Ladies and gentlemen, this is CVP World. You're watching another edition of Military Mind, bringing you news from the front lines. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. On the night of July 16th, Russian forces fired 400 drones over Ukraine, nearly a half of which were destroyed by air defenses. Targeted in a strike were the central city of Kryvyi and Kharkiv in the northeast and Vinnytsia in the western central Ukraine. In Vinnytsia, drones attacked several districts of the city. According to the head of the region, there were hits on industrial infrastructure facilities in the city of Vinnytsia, and residential houses in the region were also damaged. Sources report 8 victims in the city, 5 of whom received burns. A total of 40 were injured overnight in the Russian attacks on Ukraine. On the front line, Russian troops have seized control of Novosibirsk, a village west of Torsk, according to newly released footage showing soldiers planting flags in various parts of the settlement. The advance signals a deeper push towards Konstantinivka, posing a significant threat to Ukrainian logistics in the area, as the main supply route is now reportedly under Russian fire control. Meanwhile, the pro-Ukrainian intelligence outlet Deep State has reported continued Russian advances on the eastern flank of Pokrovsk front. Ukrainian forces say they are now engaged in battles under near encirclement conditions. Despite ongoing counterattacks, Russian troops are currently within 2 kilometers of Rodinsky, a critical logistical hub for the Pokrovsk and Marinokhrad urban cluster. In the Middle East, Israel says it has bombed Syrian government forces around Suida as they enter the predominantly Druze city following 2 days of deadly sectarian clashes. At least 200 people have been killed since the fighting between Druze militias and Bedouin tribes erupted on Sunday, according to the UK-based monitoring group, the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that he had ordered strikes on forces and weapons in the Suida area because the government, quote, intended to use them against the Druze. Syria has condemned Israel's involvement and said that the strikes have resulted in the deaths of members of the armed forces and civilians as well. The United States has approved a new round of weapons deliveries to Ukraine, even as Donald Trump voices growing frustration over stalled negotiations with Vladimir Putin. Under a plan led by the US president, NATO allies have agreed to transfer existing air defense systems, including Patriot missile batteries, to Kyiv. Washington has pledged to replace those systems through new contracts with American defense manufacturers. According to the Wall Street Journal, the aid package could total as much as $10 billion, and in return for sending equipment to Ukraine, European partners will buy replacement systems from the US, effectively recycling their stockpiles into renewed support for Kyiv. At the core of the new support package is the Patriot, one of the world's most advanced air and missile defense systems. Developed by Raytheon Technologies, this mobile system can intercept tactical ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and in at least one confirmed case, even a hypersonic class weapon. In May 2023, Ukraine used a Patriot battery to shoot down a Russian Kinzhal missile, a weapon Moscow claimed is hypersonic. While not originally designed to counter hypersonic threats, the Patriot has proven adaptable in the field. For Ukraine, the stakes couldn't be higher. After a brutal winter and sustained missile and drone strikes by Russia, air defense has become Kyiv's top priority. Officials hope to protect power plants, airfields, and key infrastructure. With a reported range of over 150 kilometers, according to NATO, Patriot systems can target fast-moving aerial threats. But here's the catch. Firing a $4 million missile to shoot down a $20,000 drone raises concerns about cost efficiency. Still, when it comes to stopping Iskander missiles, Kinzhals, or precision-guided weapons, the Patriot remains critical. Now, weapon deliveries are expected to move quickly because many of the systems are already in Allied stockpiles. Deployment could begin in weeks, not months. And while diplomatic talks continue behind the scenes, with quiet phone calls, unofficial envoys, and vague mentions of peace, the reality on the ground is different. Missiles are on their way to Ukraine, not diplomats. In the months ahead, that may shape the course of this war more than any conversation. The Torsk area in Ukraine is no longer just a front line. It's a deadly airspace where FPV drones now dominate. Small, fast, and almost impossible to detect, these drones have become a game changer, striking equipment, positions, and personnel with brutal precision. Yet amid this air war, some Ukrainian forces are tasked with doing the nearly impossible, spotting and destroying targets that can't be seen by radar. That's the job of the Anti-Aircraft Missile and Artillery Battalion of Ukraine's 28th Separate Mechanized Brigade. Their mission is to intercept drones that move like shadows, quiet, ultra-fast, and relentlessly hunting Ukrainian fighters.
Ах так, сука, тобі!
Вона, сука.
Ставимо 240.
Рейдер 1, FPV минус.
Near the border with Russia, Ukraine's Special Operations Forces carried out a precise, silent raid deep behind enemy lines. With no missteps and no losses, they struck Russian positions, eliminated multiple enemy soldiers, and took one captive. That prisoner is now providing testimony. Valuable intelligence was gathered during the operation, a testament to the skill, discipline, and focus of Ukraine's special forces. Now, these are not just raids. They're strategic missions that disrupt enemy logistics, spread confusion, and erode Russian resistance across the front.
Ми зайняли позицію. Дрон завис над ним, дрон завис над ним. Плюс. Опустись нижче, не бачимо дрона. Вот дрон, і вон там Пітер. Вон дрон над ним. Плюс, кидає гранату. Пацани, звідти контакт! Оружие, кинь оружие, блядь. Иди сюда, руки вверх, иди сюда. Сюда иди, блядь. Ты сам? Сам? Иди сюда. Иди сюда, блядь. Давай быстро, блядь. Давай. Давай, быстрее. Быстрее. Давай. Я забираю зброю, ти крич.
And with that footage, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.